Watcha! I'm excited about this one, although a little concerned because I made the mistake of looking at other reviews, but I assure you I will do my best to not let those other reviews color my own opinion. Let's get started. So this is Samurai Jack. He is easily one of my favorite characters ever from, depending on how I'm feeling that day, my favorite animated series ever. So I was very excited when I saw this got announced. Now this is a Mezco 112, and there are certain expectations that come with a figure from this company. But I've always had a soft spot for them because even though I don't have a lot of their figures, they did very much pave the way for soft goods on 112 figures that we are seeing so much of now. But yeah, Samurai Jack is cool. I mean, it's an animated series with this like perfect premise of a samurai sent to the future where basically anything goes in terms of like creatures and characters and situations he can find himself in. He's got this amazing, very simple, very animator-friendly character design that I always thought was pretty much impossible to turn into an action figure and have it look good. So let's see if this figure is up to the challenge and get him unboxed. Oh, I didn't need to cut anything. Ah. All right, here he is, the one they call
Jack! Jack was out!
Jack!
Yo, Jack! Jack was...
Jack!
Let's play with him. So we're going to start with just how the figure feels out of box, doing articulation and accessories. So they definitely got the look, for sure. This looks really, really nice when he's in a standard static pose. Let's get him moving. These joints are a little tight, but smooth. Can move our head left and right, and very, very limited head range. Well, we're getting a little bit more, like good enough side to side. Looking up is not great. Looking down is fine. So, yeah, this is like immediately, I don't know what to call this. Like, it's definitely a compromise because, like, you look at how Jack moves in the animation, how he is drawn, and like, it's as if his this is a gi, right? It's as if his gi just like magically stretches with him. It's always like shown as fully closed, no matter like how dynamic of a pose he gets into. So I'm kind of forgiving of that. That's very much like an animation thing that when you actually try to transfer that to an action figure, I mean, what do you do? Like, if it wasn't soft goods, I get it. I understand. But it is kind of funny when, like, you actually try to pose him and just immediately he's showing up his undies, like, all the time. So, I think that is, I'm not going to knock the figure for that, even though it is kind of a bummer. Like, I would be curious if maybe Forge Knight would design an alternate gi for Jack here that could maybe help people replicate that look better. I don't know, like maybe you have a second layer of cloth that can, like expand out when needed or something. I don't know. Might be possible. But yeah, like what I'm seeing here is very much a compromise of trying to get the animated look into a physical figure, and sometimes it doesn't help the figure. Like we've got no neck articulation, but the torso here is looking very much like the cartoon. So, compromises and compromises. But, he still has double jointed everything, and this is a good amount of range. This joint feels a little stiff, and the color on it doesn't quite match the skin tone. So you got a figure where as soon as you start posing him, he's showing off his legs, and the legs don't particularly look great. I mean, and also like this ankle joint, this sucks. I I really hate to be negative. This is just not very good range. So even if you do get him into a more dynamic pose, it'll be tricky to get him to stand. So that is a bummer. Articulation is not impressing me so far. Pretty good crunch though here. This is not bad. All right, let's try a few part swaps because he certainly comes with enough parts. Let's try a head swap first. These are like full head swaps. So we pop the hair off. That was easy. Now we got to pop the head off. Easy too. All right, that popped on easily enough, and then we can just pop the... Actually, you know, let's grab another hair. Just to do that too. Is this not rotated around enough, or... Getting this hair on was a little tricky. I had to pop the head off, put the hair on, and then put it back on the figure, so... Nope, no, and it just keeps wanting to pop off. I think it is just the fact that this is so big, and like anything that pushes on it will just kind of push the hair up. That's kind of annoying. I wonder if is that a problem with all the heads or just that one? This seems like the intended head for this. Let's try this one. Let's see. Yeah, that fits. Oh. So like with this hair in particular, as soon as you move the head like at all, the hair wants to pop off. So that's kind of a bummer. Wonder if you could fix that by like maybe dremeling a little bit in here to kind of, I mean, like no one's going to see some of this under detail, and maybe that'll give the plastic a little bit more room. This is a cool part, and it's a little frustrating that it wants to pop off so easily. That hair is a little tricky. Let's try a hand swap. Very tiny, very fragile looking wrist joint. Let's grab our little hand package here. I appreciate this little hand tray. There we go. Not too bad. And let's get a weapon into his hand. Got the sword here. All right, here we go. Let's get him into a cool pose, and we can wrap this section up. You pretty much like, if he's like going to town, he's pretty much like, that's just flaying out. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, part swaps and posing the figure, mostly fine, but the articulation is just, it's kind of rough, and like it is not satisfying to like get him in a cool pose and just have him immediately not really look the way he does in the show. Like in the show, his gi is not always flaying behind him like that. So it is very much a figure of compromises, and I have sympathy for the people who worked on this figure. But as just a consumer playing with the Samurai Jack toy that I was very excited about, handling is a bit of a thumbs down. Let's move on. All right, let's assess the overall quality and amount of stuff he comes with to determine if he is worth the price. So just taking a second look at the figure from an aesthetic point of view, I mean, it looks great. Like this very much is replicating the look of the show. Like the faces really do capture the many faces of Jack very well. And like I was saying, like, you know, this is obviously a different base body, I would imagine, than what is under most Mezco figures, and it definitely matches the more animated look with these kind of more stylized proportions. So figure itself, aesthetically, quality-wise, like it's very nice. Like these soft goods feel really nice too, and they are wired where it matters, mostly in this lower area. I would have liked to see the sleeves wired too, and like it's kind of like, you know, it's unavoidable, but like this seaming just doesn't look great here, and it shows through pretty often when you're posing. I gotta say though, these sandals are pissing me off. Like these are way thicker in the show, and I don't understand why they cut these down so much. And it certainly didn't help him stand, because he has trouble standing on his own. But on the bright side, he comes with a lot of stuff, like every Mezco figure does. So we've got the time portal here. This looks glorious. I've got no problems with this whatsoever. It's double-sided, looks awesome. This stand is removable in case you wanted to display it a different way. And we got a bunch of faces. So we got a happier Jack. We've got a nice battle damaged face with some scratches. Looks very good. Neutral face, perfect. Slightly angry face, also very good. And I didn't actually mention it, but I really like the closed eyes face, and I'm glad they included it. Like, this is often how Jack looks when he is fighting. At least when he's like fighting guys that are like, you know, no problem for him. We've also got his glorious hair when that little tiny pin comes out of his top knot. I do like this piece a lot. As I showed, it does want to fall off immediately if you move the head at all, but I do appreciate that this was included. And we have the disheveled hair, just with some bangs hanging down. And actually, these top knots do pop out. Or maybe, is it just, I don't want, now I'm scared. Is it the other one only? Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Ah, okay. Okay, it's a little ball joint. All right, that is decently secure. And the reason that the top knot is removable is for his hat. Okay, you gotta really push it on there, but come on, man. Okay, if you get it on there just right, then it stays really well. But gotta make sure you line it up. It's not the most user-friendly, but once you get it on there, it does look really good. And of course, he's gotta have his sword. Now, out of everything in here, this pisses me off. I really hate to be so harsh, but like this, why does it look like this? Like this is his, I mean, he's got a very unassuming magic katana, but like it's not even curved, like not even a little bit. And like, it's not like that isn't obvious. Like, look at this. Look at that thing. Like, that thing is curved as hell. I do not understand why the sword looks like this. This isn't even a realism thing. Like, real katanas are curved too. I don't get why it is so straight and so thin. It kind of feels a little out of scale, doesn't it? This seems kind of small for him. Like, really? Like, using this in two hands? I didn't check in the handling section. Can he even hold this in two hands? It's pushing it, but possible, so that's good at least. But this feels like maybe it should be like 10% bigger, the blade should be a little thicker, and it should be curved. Fix this stuff I knocked over. So out of everything about this figure, like all of its, you know, it's got a few minor shortcomings, but this is just unacceptable to me. This sucks. Like, it does not feel like the Samurai Jack's sword to me. And lastly, we do have a very nice bow that is actually strung, which is very much appreciated. Like, it is crazy to me how many action figures come with a bow that isn't strung, or it's like this, you know, like you see it on Marvel Legends a lot. It's just like a really thick piece of plastic that you can't even pose. This is great. I really, really like this. And he comes with 3 arrows for it, and they look really, really good. Like, these look exactly like I remember arrows looking in the show. This is an odd choice. Like, the only time I can absolutely remember Jack using a bow and arrow is from that like training montage in the first episode when he's hanging out with Robin Hood. I feel like maybe they could have picked something else. Like, I almost would have rather had maybe another head sculpt, or I don't know, maybe like a gun because of how he is in the final season. I don't know. Like, it is a very nice bow and arrow. I'm just not sure that that was worth the resources, I guess. But we do have a great assortment of hands here. We got a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of holding hands, another holding hand, and what is this? This is like a gesturing hand? Yeah. And a gesturing hand. Oh, you know what? This, one of these is probably for holding the bow instead of his sword. And we got a really great drawing an arrow hand. Looks very nice. We got a pointing hand, and we got an outstretched hand. This is a nice assortment. I don't mind this at all. I would have liked maybe like this to be a pair. I knew that was going to happen. I would have liked this to be a pair, but otherwise this is a good assortment of hands. We've also got the usual Mezco stand with its gigantic arm. Like, I always wondered why their like flight stand arms are so huge. I think they don't expect you to display the figure standing. I think this is specifically for like jumping and flying poses. There is also this removable peg, so you can stick this in, and then there's holes in his feet. Oh, that's probably why they did that. Compromises, right? Like, whoop, woof, that is tough to get in there. But yeah, again, compromises. They probably didn't want to update the standard like foot peg for the stand, and that is why his sandals are thinner. You know, I have sympathy for the realities of toy production, but I don't know. A lot of these compromises just are kind of frustrating to deal with. The texturing on the stand is really nice, though. This looks like the like, you know, Aku's skyscrapers. Like this very much matches that look. I really like it. The logo looks great. And all of this is like really nicely textured. This looks good. And you also get this lovely little bag. I think this must be like the exact same factory that produces Figma bags. And it's really nice. This is great because he comes with a ton of parts. It's nice to have something included where you can store them all. We've also got a little bandana here. So you put this, you take the top knot off, you slide this on. Yeah, that looks good. Then you can put the top knot back in if you want to. Yeah, it's a nice little part. Appreciated. So in terms of the craftsmanship and my particular frustration with the sword itself, I still think that this is overall a great package for the price. So in terms of value, he gets a thumbs up. Let's move on. All right, let's see how Samurai Jack scales up with some other figures that I think he looks good with. So the great thing about Samurai Jack is he goes with pretty much anything, at least in terms of his universe. So we've got the Meditoys Panda Warrior, V-Toys Ashura, Amazing Yamaguchi One Punch Man, Leto Toys Lai Alapex, and Amazing Yamaguchi Captain America. Next, we've got some bounty hunters that might come after Jack. We've got the Operation Monster Force Donner Party. We got a Mythic Legions custom on a 1.0 body. Got a Animal Warriors of the Kingdom custom. This is Mongrel. And kind of a Mad Maxed out Savage Crucible Lemurian. Oh, you gotta get the chainsaw gun in the shot. And just a few more lines. We got some Zazure Studios figures, Medocus and Gold Hilder. We've also got a Valaverse Praetorian and my custom Barbarian on the Nota Homebody, which I think would actually be a great base for a Scotsman custom. So yeah, I do think he is a good size. He fits in pretty well with 7-inch or 6-inch figures. He's kind of a nice in-between with his more tall, slender build. So yeah, not too big, not too small. Thumbs up. What we can do with this guy in terms of kit bashing, because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to want to modify this figure. So if we want to do that, first thing we're going to need to do is take off this gi and see what we're working with underneath. So this is Velcro, which is appreciated. Comes right off, no problem. Let's slide this whole thing off. You remember there's like that, it's amazing what he uses the gi for in the show. Like I definitely remember him using like the sash and like he like unhooks it or like unties it and then like uses his gi as like a parachute. Remember that? Show's wild. Anyway, okay, so here is our base body. Now, looking at this, like, you know, they certainly were trying in terms of articulation. I don't really care for this style of butterfly joint where it's more like just a long peg with a filler piece. But it does allow his arms to come in pretty well. So, I mean, it is a solid enough base body. Though I do wonder, I'm sure a lot of people are going to try this. Could we put a different body in there? So here's the V-Toys base body. Doesn't quite have the manly pecs of Jack here, but I wonder what we can do with this. Let's see. Let's see. These ball pegs are pretty similar. I wonder if we put this on. Oh, okay, it's a little loose, but you could tighten that up a little bit. Jack's missed a few meals, but, you know, now we're talking, right, in terms of articulation. So let's see. Let's get the gi back on there. Okay, now look at this. And look at that. You can even, like, if you keep it wrapped around his legs, you know, you can still get that, like, get that look without his legs immediately flaying out whenever you pose him a bit. I mean, like, now we're talking. Now he can axe kick. Yeah, this is like a huge improvement. I don't think this is the body I'll necessarily go with, especially since I have other plans for it, but I do have some other base bodies coming in from other companies, so I'm definitely going to experiment with that a bit more. But like, you know, this is the articulation we wanted. Look at this. This is so much better. And obviously, like, the head looks good. You know, it's flopping around a little bit because it's not quite the right size, but it actually does stay on. So you could throw like some sticky tack in there, or maybe some kikis or something just to fix that up a little bit. But Ooh, yeah, there we go. If we get it kind of stuck a little bit. Yeah, this is awesome. It is a shame that we have to like swap out the base body entirely, but obviously more work would need to be done too. Lots of custom work because these feet are on ball pegs and these feet are not. So you would need to drill peg holes in the feet in order for them to go on here. But yeah, there is definitely like this figure is eventually fixable, but it's going to take a lot of work. And if I wanted to do that, it would probably be its own video. Actually, come to think of it, since like these feet kind of suck anyway, you might as well just like make those sandals for these feet. I mean, oh, wait a minute. These sandal feet from the Nota homebody are like almost there, right? But they're probably a little too big. I mean, actually, well, let's see. Maybe we compare him. I mean, like he is like an animated character with larger feet, so that kind of works. Well, I'm going to probably sit on the sidelines of this for a little bit. I have a feeling that we might see some customizers try to improve this figure, and I'm going to see what people do before I really dig into this myself. Plus, I have some more base bodies coming in from other companies, so some of those might fit his build a little bit better. Oh, I also wanted to show, see, this is the sword that comes with the amazing Yamaguchi Ryu Hayabusa, and this is like way, way better. I mean, like, you know, it doesn't have the like exaggerated proportions of the, you know, the animated version of the sword, but like when you compare them, like, I mean, come on. This is what it should have looked like. Like if I actually had two of these, I would totally repaint it to, you know, match the color scheme of this one. So now I'm on the hunt for like a way better kind of generic katana that I can use for this figure. That is something I will at least do in the meantime. Another thing I wanted to try was, you may remember from my review of this figure, Tonya Tigress, that I was pretty bummed out that she couldn't hold a Mythic Legion's bow. Her little hands are just way too small for it. But we've got this one now, and that looks awesome. I wonder, I really hope, let's see if this will fit in her hand without stretching it out too much. Oh, wait, yeah, around this part specifically, and now we're talking. Look at that. That fits her perfectly. Check out my review of this figure, by the way. It's very cool. Let's see if she can do this. Yep, that looks about right. Cool. We could even hook the bowstring. Nice. That looks good. There we go. It's like, I really want, like, what was happening in my video for her is I really wanted to give her like a proper weapon. Like she does have that little sickle she was holding, but she's more of an herbalist character. But look at that. That is perfect. That's almost like it was made for her. I think she's going to be stealing this from Jack. So final thoughts. I gotta say, after I spent a good amount of time with this figure and like tried out all of his accessories, was doing all the poses for the B-roll, and it honestly grew on me a bit. It still has its shortcomings. I still think the sword is not good, but like I found ways to kind of work around the fact that he's like showing leg all the time. I really kind of pushed the articulation to its limit, and like, yeah, definitely the ankles still suck, but everything else is pretty manageable. I do wish also he had a little bit better neck range. But yeah, overall, I'm going to say this figure is better than what I was generally hearing about it, and definitely worth getting if you really like Samurai Jack. It's the best Samurai Jack that's ever been released, and probably the only one we're going to get anytime soon. So yeah, if you're able to find it, I would take a chance on it. And I also have a suspicion that we are going to see some customizers taking this figure to the next level. So keep an eye out for that too. And if I get anything that improves this figure, I'll definitely do a little video about it. So yeah, overall, honestly, I really do think this is a good figure. Okay, let's get him into the case. Watcha! Sorry. Okay, let's get him into the case. Now, when I first pre-ordered this guy, I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted him, because I don't really have, you know, like a Jada Toys or something display with a bunch of like animated characters, but I think he works pretty well with these guys for now. I'm actually going to be doing quite a bit of rearranging soon. I recently cleared out the rest of my Smash collection because I was just kind of over it. And I'm going to be downsizing the Pokemon collection. And then I'm going to move these guys somewhere else. So then maybe move the Joy Toys down. Maybe condense the Monster Hunter section as well. I really want to do, probably in this space, kind of a general favorite characters of all time section. So I would throw like Jack in there, you know, one of my Gutses, and, you know, maybe Hellboy over there. Just in general, kind of like gather all my favorite characters in one place. And I think that would make for a very cool display. And that is definitely something that Jack would fit into. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Watcha!